Hey guys, we're finally here. I am It's Raining Blood, and I'm going to do my 300 subscribers special video, a live stream video, which is a Q&A and my entire comic book collection. Gotta say, guys, thank you so much for all of the support you've given me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the subscribers and the views. I wouldn't be where I am without you guys, and thank you guys so much. So, first, I'm going to show my entire comic book collection. Okay? After that, I will answer your questions. All of your questions, guys, are awesome, and I can't wait to answer them. So, the comic book collection. Let's start off with the graphic novels. First up is Batman Year One. This is a rewritten story of Batman's origin. Of Batman's origin. It is a fantastic story. The artwork is great for its time, and just something essential for a Batman fans collection. Next up is Marvel's The Infinity Gauntlet. This is the only Marvel graphic novel that I own. This is a fantastic storyline. I had so much fun reading this. There's lots of suspense and tension and surprising moments. The Infinity Gauntlet is just a fantastic graphic novel. And I heard that the third Avengers film will be heavily inspired by this, and I can't wait for that film, guys. So that's Infinity Gauntlet. Next is Watchmen, considered the greatest graphic novel story of all time. Something that every comic book fan needs in their collection. Seriously, you're not a comic book fan till you get this. Watchmen. Up next is Blackest Night. I have yet to read this, actually. I believe this is the most recent storyline, but I've given a sneak peek to myself, and the artwork is breathtaking. It is fantastic, very colorful, and just an all-around great graphic novel to own. One day I'll get around to reading this, and I look forward to that. And up here is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. What is there to be said that hasn't been said already? I heard that the upcoming Batman vs. Superman film will be heavily inspired by this storyline. So that kind of makes me psyched to see that, to hear about that, and I'm looking forward to that. Alright, that's it for the graphic novels. Now, on to the comics. Up here is JLA Avengers 1 and 2. This is a storyline, non-canon, but still a fun read, and it makes sense how Justice League and the Avengers meet each other. These are the first two books out of a 4-part storyline. I still got to get the third and fourth parts, obviously, but yep, I'm so happy to own these. A nice crossover, even though it's non-canon, but yeah. Up next is Wolverine First Class. This was from 2008. This was a pretty fun comic book. had this for many years. I reread it often, and overall, it's just a fun storyline. But I'm glad to have this. But sadly, it's the only Wolverine or even X-Men comic book in my collection. So, next is Justice League of America, issues 210, 211, and 212. The first one, 210, is just a build-up to these two, which is a little bit disappointing because it has the best cover out of these three, in my honest opinion. That's such a cool cover, in my opinion. I just really like that. But overall, this was still a fun series of issues, and I hope to collect more of these, especially vintage comics. So that's cool. Up next is Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, 1963 series. It's in these plastic cover things, but this is an old one, obviously. Even though it's old, it's still a pretty fun issue to read, and overall, just one that is all good, you know. And speaking of Avengers, we got Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, from the 2004 series, I believe, issue 76, and that's all cool. So I'm glad to have those. Up next, Batman, issue 693 from January 2010, and issue 694 from February 2010. This was okay, but it doesn't really get going until this one, which is the one I prefer out of these two. But this is still, but that was still a fun build-up, and I'm a huge Batman fan. Batman is my favorite superhero, as you can see here. Batman t-shirt. So I'm so glad to own these in my collection, and all good. Next is The Adventures of Superman, issues 565, and 566. I really enjoyed both of these issues. They're just fun to read. Lex Luthor, of course, messing with Superman once again in both these issues. And he's very cunning in this, man. So, those are all the superhero comics I have. And now we have a few Simpsons comics here. Simpsons, issue 127, Dips Ahoy. This is a special about the Simpsons, like moving to another country, and maybe like an alternate place or something. Sorry, I haven't read this in a while, but yep. And we have Simpsons A Go-Go. This is a collection of 4 issues, 4 or 5 issues. I really enjoy this thing. Had it for years. It's always fun to read every time, and that's cool. And last Simpsons book is Bart Simpson Presents Numero Uno, issue 31. Of course, the Bart Simpson comic books are very fun to read. They're also hilarious, you know, and I really enjoy reading this, because I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and this is just a really cool comic book, and I'm glad to have it. Up next is WWE Magazine, August 2012. I'm a huge WWE fan, if you don't know. But I got this issue a few years back, of course, and I like to keep it in my collection. I like to keep magazines in my collection because one day those will be out of print, and I'll be one of the first who has them. So, yeah. Up next are a few issues of Mad Magazine. I love Mad Magazine. It's just so hilarious. It's just funny every time. Although repetitively immature, it's still very fun to read. This is the Australian / New Zealand version, though, of the magazines. I don't know about the American ones, but I think these are very fun to read, and I love to have Mad Magazine in my collection. Up next is SpongeBob Krusty Cards Collection. If you don't know, back in 2009, for New Zealand, we had this released to us. Each of these magazines came with a set of cards which we could collect. I still have those cards, but I don't have them with me right now. But I didn't pick up every issue. Sadly, I wish I did, but maybe there is some way to still get them. Don't know. But it's got fun facts. It has interviews. It has comic strips, and I just find those very fun to read. So I'm happy to have that. And last, but certainly not least, is Spider-Man Annual 2005. If I had to write a book about how much I love this, it would never end, probably. Of course, I mean that figuratively, not literally, but I love this book so much. It has puzzles, and it's filled with comic strips, information about Spider-Man villains, just everything that any Spider-Man fan could want, you know. And I just love this book to death. I love it so much, and I'll never ever have this out of my collection. I'm going to admit, guys, I used to have a few other comic books as well as Mad magazines, but sadly I lost them. Probably because I didn't take good enough care of them. A mistake I will never do again. So I regret that very much. So that's my comic book collection, everyone. Now, onto the main event of this video. Is my 300 subscribers Q&A. Thank you so much for all the questions, guys. I love them. I'm so glad that they've been watched, that you guys watched them, because I just really appreciate it, you know. So, yeah. Now, onto the questions. First questions, we have 8 questions from my good friend WWE Fan 0599. Thank you so much for posting these questions, my friend. I really appreciate that you did these for me. So I'm going to answer your 8 questions now. Question 1. Favorite song? My favorite song would have to be Achilles' Last Stand by Led Zeppelin. Everything about that song is nothing but flawless. The lyrics, the singing, the guitars, the drums, the bass, everything. The tone, you name it. That is my favorite song of all time, guys. If you haven't heard it, I suggest you listen to it as soon as possible. In fact, I've listened to all of Led Zeppelin stuff, guys. Listen to all of Led Zeppelin's music because they are absolutely amazing. Um, Seriously, not just Stairway to Heaven and Kashmir, because those are, as well as they're great songs in their own, that Led Zeppelin have tons and tons of other amazing songs. So, yep. Question 2. Favorite Marvel superhero? Easy. Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the reason I got into comics and superheroes in general. He has always been there for me. I can relate to him. You know, he always wants to do good. The bad things he does, he makes up for it. And I just love that about him so much. So that's my answer to your second question, WWE fan. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel superhero, and always will be. So that answers that. Question 3. Favorite Liam Neeson movie? Once again, easy question. Batman Begins. When that film came out, I loved it so much, and I became obsessed with it. I got the DVD not too long after it came out, and I watched it over and over and over again and never got bored of it. So, yep, my answer to your question would be Batman Begins. Question 4, favorite cartoon character? I would have to go with Peter Griffin on that. I know you would expect me to choose either Eric Cartman from South Park or Homer Simpson from The Simpsons, but Peter Griffin, just whenever I see him, I just love him so much. He's just always funny and just awesome all the time. And he's timeless, man. He never gets old, Peter Griffin. So that's my answer to that question. Question 5, hottest actress. Okay, I've been looking forward to this question a lot. I don't know, some of you already know, but a lot of you actually don't. But if you don't know, I actually have a huge crush on Anna Paquin. She is just so incredibly beautiful and hot, you know. But not only that, but she is a New Zealander. And I myself am a New Zealander too. And that's awesome, you know, to hear about that. Because she is hot as hell, and she is honestly my celebrity crush. And that would answer your question, my friend. So that answers that. Question 6, favorite animated movie? I would probably have to go with Toy Story on that one. Toy Story was a film I watched a lot as a kid. Just everything about it I loved. And I just get so many nostalgic memories each time I rewatch it. Because I love Toy Story. Nothing will beat it in my opinion. And yeah. Question 7. Favorite Arrow episode? Okay, I have given thought to this, but my favorite episode of Arrow would have to be Season 2, Episode 9, Three Ghosts. So much happened in that episode that it's just undeniably awesome to explain. We saw Roy get infected with the Mirakuru. We saw Oliver fight Cyrus Gold at the start of the episode. We saw Shadow get shot by fires on the island. And we saw Tommy's ghost come come to help Oliver, you know. And of course, Slade is in Starling City. That is by far my favorite episode of Arrow. Others would say either the season 1 finale or the season 2 finale, but I'm going to go with Three Ghosts, man. Yep. So that's my answer to your 7th question, bro. And your 8th and final question, favorite Breaking Bad episode. Okay, guys. I know it's cliche to name this as your favorite Breaking Bad episode, but it really is everyone's most favorite episode of the show, and rightfully so. And in case you don't know, the episode I'm referring to is season 5, episode 14, Ozymandias. This might have been honestly the greatest TV episode out of any show that I've ever seen in my life. Flawless performances, intense like crazy, and just all around a memorable, exciting, and heartbreaking episode. And I just love Ozymandias to death. So that is my favorite episode of Breaking Bad. So those are your questions answered, WWE Fan 0599. Thank you so much for posting those questions. And I look forward to seeing you comment below if you do. So next we have 8 questions from my good friend Agent Simpson 327. And guys, you gotta thank him. Okay? If it wasn't for Agent Simpson 327, this video would not exist. Okay? He was the one who suggested it, and I swore to only do a suggestion, and I chose his, which was to do another live stream Q&A as well as show my comic book collection. So that's that. So here we go with answering this question. Question 1, favorite actor. My favorite actor of all time is Christian Bale. Mainly for the Dark Knight trilogy, but not only that, but Christian Bale, he really is a great guy in real life. He really is a good person. I mean, he visited those victims of the 2012 Dark Knight Rises shootings, and also he was bullied at school, like me, so I can relate to him for that. You know, love Christian Bale. He is by far my favorite actor of all time, especially for the Dark Knight trilogy. Although I wouldn't say that's his best performance. His best performance would definitely have to be as Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. You know? So that answers that, man. Thank you for posting that question. Question 2, least favorite genre of music. My least favorite genre of music is dubstep. I hate dubstep so much, man. It doesn't even take talent to make it, to be honest. And the worst thing about it, for me, is the fact that today's youth listens to that music because it makes them think that they're cool because their friends listen to it when it doesn't. You know, I hate dubstep with a burning passion. I hate Skrillex and Knife Party. They both suck. Rock and roll will always be my favorite genre of music. So that answers that, bro. Question 3, favorite zombie movie. To be honest, I don't have a favorite zombie movie, but if TV shows count for your answer, then I would have to go with The Walking Dead TV series. That is an amazing show, dude, especially the first season. Although I do hate its fanboys, it is a brilliant show in my opinion. It's not like a typical zombie movie, but I just think it's all around great, and the characters are great too, and it's not too violent actually. So that answers your question, hopefully, man. Question 4: favorite Iron Maiden song? Okay, I love tons of Iron Maiden songs. I love Run to the Hills. I love Hallowed Be Thy Name, of course. But there's this Iron Maiden song that I've been really obsessed with recently, and that song is Killers from the album of the same name. If you want everything great about Iron Maiden packed into one song, I suggest you listen to Killers. Man, I promise it'll blow you away, especially on high volume, because that song is nothing but flawless in my opinion, and I just love it. So that answers your question. Question 5: what's your favorite Metallica song? I love Metallica, but my favorite song by them is easily the song One from the album And Justice for All. When I first heard that song, it blew me away so much that I would just do nothing but listen to it over and over and over again, especially the guitar solo, which, in my opinion, might be the greatest in history. Everything about that song is flawless. One of my favorite songs of all time. So that's my favorite Metallica song, Josh. 1. Question 6. Favorite porn star? Okay, Josh, I'm going to admit I saw this question coming. I saw you post this on other Q&As, and I saw it coming. I'm going to admit. But my favorite porn star would have to be Tori Black. She is hot as hell, and she's got a nice body and a tight ass, and I've been jacking it to her videos for over a year now, and it feels amazing every time. So, yep, Tori Black is my favorite porn star. So, yeah. Question 7. Most overrated movie ever. Okay, I was thinking about this, and in my opinion, the most overrated movie of all time is Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is a great movie, guys. I really appreciate this film for its cinematography and its invention of camera angles. But people just, like, if someone doesn't like the film, like a fan of the film will go out and bash their opinion, tell them they're not a true fan of movies, which is totally unfair. Because everyone has a right to have an opinion. If they don't like Citizen Kane, then that's that, okay? They shouldn't be judged for their opinions. So that's why I think it's the most overrated movie of all time. So yeah. That answers your question. And your final question. Question 8. Is your channel named after the song Raining Blood by Slayer? You got me. Yes, Josh, you assumed correctly. My channel is in fact named after the song Raining Blood by Slayer. And I know it's a stupid username, but I was only 12 when I created my account, dude. Seriously, I didn't even take the time to think of a good username, you know. And that was just the first that came to my mind. I was going to name it It's Raining Blood, but that was taken. So I had to name it It Is Raining Blood, which is weird, I know. But still, you know. So yeah. So that's all your questions answered, Agent Simpson 327. Thank you so much for posting the questions, and you were the reason that this video exists. So thank you so much for that, man. Hope to hear from you soon. Because I haven't heard from you in a little while. But yeah. Next we have 10 questions from Blu-ray Evan. Congrats on 300 subscribers. Why, thank you, Evan. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Question 1. Favorite food? My favorite food is KFC, dude. It's been my favorite food for 7 years now. I just love everything about it. The taste, the look, the feel. I love KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So yeah. Question 2. If you could meet one person, what or who would it be? Okay, there's actually 2 of them. One male, one female. I'll start with the male. It would be Christopher Nolan. Yep, he is my favorite director of all time. To meet him in person would be so awesome. It would make all of the Nolan fans like happy and envious, you know. And I'd meet Christopher Nolan, just praise him so much for his movies, because he has several of my favorite movies of all time in his catalog, and that would be my one. As for female, it would be Anna Paquin. She is my celebrity crush, you know. But if I actually met her in real life, I would probably be very shy as hell, and I would probably like maybe be hesitant in talking to her and stuff. So yep. And that's all. And okay, question 3. What's your favorite movie of all time? My favorite movie of all time is all 3 Dark Knight movies. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Those are just films I can watch over and over and over again and never get bored of them. But if I could only choose one of those films, it would be The Dark Knight. Definitely. And because those films, they feel like a part of my soul, you know? And I just love all 3 films so much. So those would have to be that is my favorite movie of all time, The Dark Knight trilogy, man. So go ahead and answer that. Question 4, Jeff Bridges' favorite movie. I'm assuming you mean my favorite Jeff Bridges movie. That would have to be the first Iron Man. I love the first Iron Man movie. It is just so much fun to watch, and the story was appropriate and everything. So that would easily have to be my favorite film from Jeff Bridges. I haven't seen The Big Lebowski. I know, I'm crazy for not seeing it, but right now, that is my favorite Jeff Bridges film. Question 5, favorite Pixar movie. My favorite Pixar movie would be Toy Story. either the first Toy Story or Toy Story 3. Um, those three, that film just brings back so many nostalgic memories. If someone asked me what my favorite Pixar film was, from the top of my head, it's always Toy Story. So that's that. Question 6, favorite superhero? Batman. My favorite superhero is Batman, dude. I've been a fan of him since I was a little kid, since before I even started school, and he's just been a part of my life for so long. I just love what he fights for and what he stands for. He really wants to serve justice, bring justice to his parents' murder without getting revenge in a bad way. So, yeah, my favorite superhero is Batman. Question 7, favorite TV shows? My favorite TV show of all time is Breaking Bad. A friend of mine was the reason I decided to watch that show, and I owe him so much for that, because I wouldn't have started watching it if it wasn't for him. So that's my favorite TV show of all time. Other TV shows I love Boardwalk Empire, Outrageous Fortune, Little Britain, Futurama, Hannibal, Everybody Loves Raymond, Homeland, Spartacus, SpongeBob SquarePants, Arrow, South Park, Firefly, Seinfeld, Family Guy, and tons of other shows, man. I'll be going on and on and on if I was to tell you all of my favorite TV shows. So if that answers your question, buddy. Question 8, Steelbook or Digibook? Okay, dude. Evan, I know why you'd want to ask that, but if you don't know, I am from New Zealand, okay? And it's extremely rare that you'll find steelbooks or digibooks here. So, I'm sorry, man, but I can't answer that question because of that reason. So, that's that. I'm sorry, dude. If you're disappointed, that's totally understandable. But, yeah. Question 9, thoughts on remakes? Some remakes I like, actually. I actually really enjoyed the Halloween remake. I thought that was a very great, well done movie, and the backstory made sense. I know a lot of people hate remakes, and that's totally understandable, but the thing with remakes is that you have to bring something new to the table. And remakes nowadays, they usually just rehash the same thing again and again, So that's that. Question 10, favorite song? A previous user had asked that question, but I'll answer again. Achilles' Last Stand by Led Zeppelin. Everything about that song is perfect. It is amazing. It is just one that you gotta hear on high volume because it kicks so much ass. And so that's my answer to your question, man. Okay. So those are your questions answered, dude. Hope you enjoyed my answers. Okay. Next, we have 3 questions from In Papanoida, who I actually didn't expect the first questions here. So thank you so much, N Papanoida, for posting questions. I really appreciate it. Um, so, yep. Question 1. Will you take off the mask so I can understand what you're saying? Nope. Question 2. Favorite DC superhero that isn't Batman, Superman, Green Arrow, or The Flash? Okay, you almost struck a hard bargain there. I know you guys think I'm gonna say the Woman or Green Lantern, but the superhero besides those four that is my favorite would be Robin, Batman's sidekick, Robin. I've always been a huge Robin fan. When I was a kid, I actually loved the Batman and Robin movie, believe it or not. But remember, I was a kid. Kids can enjoy crappy movies. But nowadays, I realize how terrible that film actually is. Anyway, I love Robin so much. In my opinion, he is the best sidekick out of any sidekick in fiction. You know? And the Robin, and if you're wondering which Robin I'm choosing, it would be Dick Grayson. Definitely Dick Grayson. So that answers your second question. Question 3. Favorite movie that no one seems to talk about? Detroit Rock City. I love that film, guys. If you don't know what it's about, of course, you probably won't even heard of it, but it's about these 4 teenagers who try to get to a Kiss concert. They ditch their parents, and they're trying to go at it alone. But many obstacles get in their way, and I just thought it was so much fun when I watched it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, believe it or not. I just had so much fun watching it. I have so many nostalgic memories every time I rewatch it. And that would have to be my favorite movie that no one seems to talk about. Detroit Rock City. So those are the questions from N Papanoida. Next, we have 4 questions from Blu-ray Ben. Congratulations on the 300 subs, buddy. Thank you very much, Ben. I really appreciate that, man. Here are my questions. Question 1. Do you have any brothers or sisters? No, I don't, actually. I'm an only child. But yes, I do wish I had an older brother. Or even an older sister would be cool. Either one. Or even better, both. But obviously that's too late. I just really love my own peer to look up to protect me like that, you know. But it's far too late now, sadly. But I don't have any brothers or sisters. I'm an only child. But I do wish I had either an older brother or an older sister. But like I said, it's far too late now. Question 2. What was your all-time favorite movie as a child? I never really thought about it back then, to be honest, when I was a little kid. But if somebody asked me, I probably would have said Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. Back in 2004, I saw that film in cinemas, and I loved it so much. I became obsessed with the movie like you wouldn't believe. I did nothing but think about it. I drew pictures of Spider-Man and Doc Ock. I talked about Spider-Man 2 at school all the time. My friends played Spider-Man 2 games. We made up our own Spider-Man 2 stories. I was so obsessed with that film like you wouldn't believe, Ben. So, my favorite film as a kid would have to be Spider-Man 2. So thanks for posting the question, Ben. Question 3. What do you prefer? A standard Blu-ray with just the film, or a special edition with loads of extras and bonus features? Okay, I gotta tell you that I'm not the type of guy who's all about getting the best special edition of a film on Blu-ray, because to be honest, I really just want the film. Yep, the film itself. So believe it or not, I actually prefer the standard Blu-ray with just the film, because the film is what I want in the first place. It's all I ever think about really when it comes to Blu-rays. Special features are cool and all, but as long as I get the film in its entirety, I'm happy. Okay? So thank you for passing that question, Ben. Question 4. What do you think is a good price for a Blu-ray realistically? For a new release, I'd say $20. Yeah, I know you're saying you're just being biased. I know you're going to think that, but $20, you'd be able to update easier, wouldn't have to think too much, and wouldn't be any stress or worry. Even for a new release, you know. As for an older Blu-ray, I'd say about $5 or $10, because it shouldn't really be too much. I mean, they say the industry's losing money, which is bullshit. Sorry for my language, but yeah, that's what I think are good prices for Blu-rays realistically. Thank you for posting those 4 questions, man. Next we have a lot of questions from I hope I pronounced this right, Kalama, India, who has over 20 questions. So let's answer each of these questions. Let's get ready. Question 1. Who has been the most important person in your life? Can you tell me about him or her? The most important person of my life would have to be my mother. Nobody has cared for me more than she has ever. She is the one who's always worried about me when it needs to be, who cares about me, does what I want, if it's okay. She has taken care of me, fed me, put me to sleep, and just everything about her. I just love her so much. So my mother would have to be the most important person in my life. So, question 2. What was the happiest moment of your life? I never told anyone about this, but the happiest moment of my life would have to be back in 2012 when I got my pacemaker surgery. Yes, guys, I have a pacemaker right here actually. Should I pull it up? See that scar there, guys? Yep. I had surgery back in 2012, and I had a pacemaker put in there. And it was just such a relief after it had happened, because stuff was being wrong with me, and I would fall asleep a lot. I would get tired so easily. I would sleep for almost an entire day every day. I couldn't focus. I couldn't do work. And when I was told I had to have surgery, I wasn't scared at all, to be honest, because I actually had surgery before. But when that was over, it was such a relief to me. And everything got back to normal. I was fine again. I was good. All of my problems were solved. So yeah. And what was the saddest moment of your life? I am both happy and sad that you asked that question, dude. Because I've been wanting to talk about this subject for a while, but I never really found a good excuse to talk about it until now. The saddest moment of my life. I know you guys are probably gonna say that it's when I got bullied back in school, which was a very sad time in my life. But I've already talked about that in a previous video. So the saddest moment of my life was back in 2002. I had a puppy dog. His name was Teal. I loved him so much. I played with him all the time. He was basically my best friend. And I played with him so much and we had so many happy times together. But after a few months, somebody took him. Somebody took my dog and I never saw him again. And I've never completely gotten over that. It was 12 years ago, but it still affects me to this day. You know, so that's that. Okay. Who has been the biggest influence on your life? What lessons did that person teach you? I can't really think of a single person, sort of, but right now I would have to say my whole family has been the biggest influence on me. They have always been supportive of me no matter what obstacles are in my way, no matter what bad things are happening. They would always support me. They always support me, begging me to go after my dreams, you know, and they always support me and they're always positive when it comes to me. And they would have to be the biggest influences on my life. But to choose a single person, it would probably have to be my grandfather. He always teaches me about life. Every time we get the chance to talk, he tells me about this country, the world as he sees it, and its history. And he has always been a good teacher to me. I love my grandfather so much. So that would have to be my answer to that question. Okay. Question 4. Who has been the kindest to you in life? One of my uncles, I'll call him Uncle N because his first name starts with N, but I'm not going to say his name because that would be like invasion of privacy a little bit because I don't know if he'll be okay with it or not. But we'll just call him Uncle N. Okay. He has always been nicest to me. He has always like talked to me. He's always trying to make everyone feel fit in, and he is probably the most good person I've ever met. I love Uncle N, and he's just awesome. He would have to be the kindest person in my life. So yeah. Question 5. What are the most important lessons you've learned in life? I honestly don't know, man, but one that is important for an upcoming thing about mine would probably be when I learned how to use Movie Maker, when I learned how to use things on the computer. So if I actually had no idea how to use the webcam, and if that had happened, then this video would be horrible, and So the lessons I've learned have helped me to this day. I've been doing videos for almost 4 years now, and that is awesome. I've been keeping it real, keeping it good, and keeping it in my mind. So, computer lessons. Those have been the most important to me, especially as of recent memory. So, yeah. What is your earliest memory? My earliest memory was probably back in 2001. I remember going into a place near a store that I like to go to, and I remember that happening when I wasn't totally aware of everything around me and everything that I was doing, So, 2001, that's my earliest memory. So, thank you for the question. Next question, do you like Google Plus? Okay, this is going to be a very controversial answer, but you see up there, man? You see what I'm pointing? That's the Google Plus logo. If it wasn't for Google Plus, I would not be able to do this video live. Okay, so, and yes, guys, I was one of those people who was mad when I heard about the changes that Google Plus made. Like, we were forced to have it on our YouTube accounts, but we can now do live stream videos, and we can see who thumbs up our comments. Seriously, we didn't realize that Google Plus was a gift to us, a gift for us, and we were too stupid to see that. So yes, I do love Google Plus, man. Yep. Next question, are there any funny stories your family tells about you that come to mind? Honestly, dude, I haven't really had that much funny stories in my life. But to be honest, maybe a couple of times when I recorded on our video camera and it was showing on our TV, I felt so embarrassed, but it was pretty funny, So, yeah, that's the only one I can think of, man. I'm very sorry, but, Next question, are there any funny stories or memories or characters from your life that you want to tell me about? Sorry, dude, but not really. I can't really think of any funny memories. Oh, yes, funny story. Wait, what was it? I've had a lot of funny dreams actually in my life. Like a bunch of people doing dumb stuff, and just so many funny things. But I can't really think of it, man. So, yeah. What are you proudest of? I'm proudest of something that hasn't even officially been done yet, and that is my upcoming series, It Is Raining Blood and Friends, which will premiere on Christmas Day next month. Seriously, I have already completed 2 episodes of that show. I'm working on the 3rd one right now, and it'll be worth it. I put so much hard work into the show, and it's gonna come next month, and it'll all be good and stuff. So, I'm very proud of my show. It is Raining Blood and Friends. And that would be the thing that I'm most proudest of. Okay. Next question. When in life have you felt most alone? Back in 2009, probably when, you know, I'm a type of guy who loves rock music, and everyone in my class was all about pop, rap, and electronic, and I felt so alone that I was the only one who loved rock music. They bullied me because I didn't like electronic or any of that crap music. So, and I just felt so alone. I thought I was the only one who still loved rock music, and no one else thinks that way besides me. Of course, that turned out to be not true. Of course, there are actually tons and tons of people who still listen to rock music. So that would be my answer to your question, dude. Next question. If you could hold on to one memory from your life forever, what would it be? That, my friend, would have to be my entire memory of being at school. No, not at school. Sorry about that. That was a mistake. All the memories that I've been with my family. Seriously, that is something that I never want to let go of. And if that had happened to me, it would be so bad. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I had forgotten about all of those memories. So that'll be it, man. Next question. How has your life been different than what you'd imagined? To be honest, when I created my YouTube account, I imagined doing videos, doing lots of videos actually, but where it would just be movie reviews. And to be honest, when I joined YouTube, I thought I would have thousands of subscribers by now, but then I learned that getting subscribers was way harder than it looked. But everyone starts from somewhere. Even big users such as PewDiePie and Smosh. So that's that. How would you like to be remembered? Well, I've already done something that'll make me remembered, dude. I can't talk about it right now because there's too much to get into, but it happened 15 years ago when I was just a baby. And because of that, I will always be remembered in my family tree. And I will never be forgotten, even after I'm gone. So, I can't tell you about it because there's far too much to get into, but that's that. Next question. Do you have any regrets? Yes, I do. There are regrets that I don't want to talk to you about, but one of them includes not watching Gravity in theaters. I regret not watching Breaking Bad as it aired on TV. I regret letting people bully me, and a few other things. One other thing I regret. I regret not joining YouTube earlier. I joined in 2010, which was longer than most of my friends here actually, but I still wish I joined earlier. Even earlier than that. So yeah. Next question. What does your future hold? To be honest, there's not really any way of telling. But I'm hoping to be a success when I grow up. I want my life to turn out how I imagine it. I want to get married. I want to have kids. And I'm just hoping that everything will turn out good. I might not get the best job that I want, but at least a job that gets me paid good every week, so that it won't be bad. But overall, you can't ever tell really what your future holds. So, yeah. Next question. Is the 90s the best film decade? I thought about this, and I might actually have to agree with you on that. There are so many amazing films in the 90s. To name a few: Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Goodfellas, Fight Club, Saving Private Ryan, American History X, Primal Fear, Braveheart, so many other amazing films during the 90s. But the 2010s, from 2010 to 2019, might honestly be the best decade in film history. Seriously, filmmakers today, they're trying to get better at it, which people are too blinded by nostalgia to see that. So, because of upcoming superhero movies, upcoming adaptations, and that, I think this decade will top the 90s for being the best decade of film. So, yeah. Next question, is the 90s the best music decade? No, not in my opinion. In my opinion, that award goes to the 70s. Although I may be a bit biased because Led Zeppelin was the best band of the 70s, arguably, but 90s I actually think is kind of overrated. I mean, sure, you had Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, and a few other bands, but even the 80s I thought was better. But in my opinion, the 70s will always be the best decade of music and will never be topped. So, that's that. Next question. Is there anything that you've never told to anyone but want to tell me? Maybe not at this moment, dude. But I can't really. This isn't just to you, but to anyone. So I'm gonna use this question to tell you this. Some people already know this by now, and this is a very controversial thing to say, but I just wish that people would move on from 9/11. Okay, September 11, 2001 attacks. Because every single year since then, there have been tributes to that day, to the lives that were lost. And don't get me wrong, guys, I feel sorry for every single person who lost family members on that day. And I understood why people were so sad about it. But after a while, I stopped understanding. And I think it's time to move on. Seriously. That wasn't even the worst thing in history, to be honest. There have been plenty of other worse things in 9/11, such as World War II and when Vlad the Impaler was around. But I'm going to be completely honest. I know that's an unpopular opinion, and I know some might disagree with that, but which is totally okay. But I'm speaking my mind here, folks. Okay. So, yeah. Next question. Is there something about me that you've always wanted to know, but I've never asked? There's quite a few things, actually. By you, Kalama India. I'm actually very curious to know what your first name is, to know what your name is, if you don't mind me telling me what your real name is. I'd really like to know, if you don't mind. You could post it in the comments. Um, I'd also be very interested in to know what your favorite films are, your favorite music to listen to, your favorite TV shows, your favorite video games, and I know you're from Sweden. I'd very curious to know what life is like in Sweden also. If you don't mind telling me those things, I'd really love to know. I hope you don't mind commenting those. So yeah. Next question, best director. Okay. To get this out of the way, in my opinion, the best director of all time is Martin Scorsese. And here's why I think he's the best. Think about it, guys. He's been doing films for years. He's been he's done so many classic films over the years, and each of the recent decades. So that means it's like all generations, um, like the past 4 generations and upcoming, are gonna get a taste of Scorsese, and his films never gets old. His talent never gets old. He's always got a good plan in mind for a film, and he is, in my opinion, the best director. So now we go to the final question from Kalama India, who asks, if there could be a new Oscar award, what would that be in your opinion? Wow, gotta say that's actually a pretty tough one. I was thinking maybe at the Hollywood Oscars there could be best foreign actor in a film or TV show. I don't know if that one already exists. I'm sorry, but honestly, I think that would be a nice new Oscar award if we're talking seriously here. So, yeah. So, thank you so much for all of those questions, Kalama India. I really enjoyed answering them. Although some of them were a bit hard to answer at times, it was still nice to hear about them. Next, we have 3 questions from Matthew Azevedo, who says, awesome videos. Congrats on those subs. You've earned them. Here are my questions. Question 1. How did you get into Marilyn Manson, if you're a listener of him and his band? It was back in 2010, early back in 2010 when I had just started middle school. I was watching an episode of The Graham Norton Show, which was an old one, and along with Nigella Lawson, Marilyn Manson was a guest star in it. And I had no idea who he was at the time, but my mother knew who he was, so I asked him, who's she? Because yes, I will admit, I did mistake Manson for a woman when I first saw him. So, yeah. And she said that Manson was a metal singer, and at the time I was a huge fan of heavy metal music, and I decided to give his music a try. So I went online and searched up the Beautiful People song, and I love that song so much. I listened to it over and over and over again, and when I went to school the next day, I had that song playing in my head all the time. Because and I immediately became a huge Marilyn Manson fan. So that's my answer to your first question, Matthew. Thank you for posting it. Question 2. What do you think of my videos? Do you think they are very weird? You can be honest. Okay, since you're letting me be honest, Matthew, yes, I do think your videos are weird. However, I really appreciate what you do, Matthew. You are not afraid to go out on YouTube with weird videos, even if they're haters all the time. You always have the courage, and I really appreciate that, man. So, gotta say, yes, they are weird, but they're your videos, man, and you're not afraid to do them. So, that's that. And third question, what do you think of gay people, and why do you support them, if you do? Honestly, all of the gay people that I've met in real life have been nothing but kind to me. They've been polite and respectful. And to be honest, um, if any of you out there are gay, um, don't be ashamed to be gay, okay? It's who you are, and it defines you in the most perfect way. That's what these homophobes and bullies try to do. They try to make you feel ashamed that you're gay when you don't deserve to be. Gay people do not deserve to be judged. I respect gay people. I am straight, but if somebody is gay, then they don't deserve to be judged for that. So yes, Matthew, I do support gay rights. I know you're gay, my friend. That is totally fine. Don't let others put you down, okay? So I do support gay rights. So thank you for those questions, Matthew. Really enjoyed answering them. Next, we have 2 questions from Kai's Reviews. A good friend of mine. He posted one question a few weeks back, and he posted another one recently. Question 1. Congrats on 300 subscribers, man. If you could remake a movie, what would it be, and how would you do it? If I could remake any movie, it would be the Dragon Ball remake or reboot, because everyone knows how horrible Dragon Ball Evolution was. God, even mentioning that movie makes me cringe. But I bet you that if I did the Dragon Ball Z reboot, it would be freaking amazing. There would be so many mind-blowing action scenes in it. There will probably be the best action scenes you have ever seen in a film in your entire life. That will be mind-blowing and all around fantastic. So, yep, that would be the film I would remake. And, okay. And your second question, if you could fight any celebrity, who would you fight? Fight Club reference, LOL. And I'm glad you like your new profile picture that I made you. Oh yeah, guys, I forgot to mention, Kai Reviews, if you've seen my new channel icon, it has 1/3 is Walter White, middle third is Batman, and the third is Ghostface. He made that icon for me. Thank you so much for that, Kai. I really appreciate that. And he's actually doing a video intro for me. That's what he said. So I'm really looking forward to that. And to answer your question, it would be Max Martin. He would be the one celebrity I would fight. And I'm pretty sure you have no idea who he is. Max Martin is the reason that Justin Bieber, Nicki Minaj, Miley Cyrus, etc. are today's superior, apparently, music. He is the reason that is the popular music nowadays. I hate him for that. So he'd be the one celebrity I would fight. So thank you for those questions, Kai Reviews. I really appreciate them, buddy. So, yeah. Next we have 6 questions from formerly known as horror fan Evan the Movie Guy 123875554. Question 1. Who is your favorite YouTuber? I don't have one, to be honest, man. I couldn't even begin to choose who my favorite YouTuber was. But if someone put a gun to my head, I would probably say The Random Mind. I just love his videos, and I love his reviews and his lists videos and other stuff. So that would have to be my favorite YouTube channel if someone had a gun to my head. But otherwise, I don't have one, man. So yeah. Question 2. Who's your favorite Simpsons character? My favorite Simpsons character is Homer Simpson. I just love characters like him. You know, big, like me. But Homer is just a cool character altogether, you know, and he's got some of the greatest lines, and he's just a fun character all the time, never boring. So that's my favorite Simpsons character. Question 3. Do you still collect VHS? P.S. I do. No, I don't, man. I did, however, want to keep my VHS collection, but as you're aware of, I moved houses a couple of months ago, and somebody threw out my entire VHS collection without asking me. I wanted to collect those, but I did manage to save a few videotapes, but that kind of irritated me, but especially the fact that they didn't ask me. So, no, I don't, man. And I also gave you that brief explanation. Question 4. Leatherface or Norman Bates? Norman Bates, and here's why. Leatherface is not someone you would see, isn't very realistic, seriously. Leatherface isn't real, nor could he possibly be, really. Norman Bates, on the other hand, is a real person, basically. The scary thing about Psycho is that anyone could be like Norman Bates. Could be your neighbor, your mother, your roommate. That is the scary thing about Psycho, is that anyone can be like that. So my answer to that, man, is Norman Bates. Question 5. What's your favorite food? A previous user had asked this, but I'll say it again. KFC. It's been my favorite food for 7 years, and I love everything about it. Question 6. What's your favorite Simpsons episode? Yes, I love The Simpsons, guys, but the one that always comes to mind when someone asks me my favorite Simpsons episode would be Treehouse of Horror 5. Mainly for that Shining segment. I loved that segment so much. It was so much fun, and I just really enjoyed watching that segment. So, the episode overall was great, but mainly for that segment. So my favorite Treehouse of Horror episode, no, my favorite Simpsons episode is Treehouse of Horror 5. So, thank you for those questions, Evan the Movie Guy. 123875554. Next questions. We have 3 questions from Right Man for the win. Who had been saying for a while that he was going to post questions, and he finally did them recently. So I'm going to answer them. Question 1. What is your favorite black and white movie? As you guys know, I'm not a big fan of black and white movies. I think they are very over-exaggerated. But enough about that. I'd have to say my favorite black and white movie is Schindler's List. I know you guys aren't really aware of this, but I'm actually a huge fan of history. and Schindler's List just got the effects of World War II so perfect that it's undeniable how great it was. But even though it's not a film that I would rewatch often, I do love Schindler's List, and that would have to be my favorite black and white movie. Some might not count it as a black and white movie because it's not that old, but um, that's my answer. Okay. Question 2: best movie you have on Blu-ray besides the Dark Knight trilogy? Okay. Besides that, because yes, Riley, I would have said the Dark Knight trilogy if you hadn't have put that stuff at the end. So, yep. So my favorite movie that I have on Blu-ray besides the Dark Knight trilogy would have to be Pulp Fiction. If you guys know, Pulp Fiction is actually my second favorite movie of all time. I can rewatch it countless times. And yes, guys, I actually do have it on Blu-ray. You obviously can't see it, but I have shelves over there where I keep my CDs, my DVDs, and my Blu-rays. So I just love Pulp Fiction so much. I watched that film a couple years back, and it just brings me so many nostalgic memories every time I watch it. So that would have to be the best movie I have on Blu-ray besides the Dark Knight trilogy. So that's my answer to your question, Riley. Question 3: have you seen the movie Blue Velvet before? No, I haven't, but I've heard so many great things about it, and I'm keen on seeing that film. So thank you, Riley. Batman for the win. So there's 3 questions. And last and not least, because this user has been watching my live video as it has been happening. And the last 3 questions are from Comic Book Fan 1992. We're finally at the end, guys. And wow, what a trip it has been. Question 1: did you like Iron Man 3 or did you hate Iron Man 3? I hated Iron Man 3, dude. Because if you don't know, obviously I'm a huge comic book fan. And I was so hyped to see the Mandarin in that film. And what they did to that character pissed me off like you wouldn't believe. Seriously, any true comic book fan would hate what they did to Mandarin. Turns out it was an actor. A fucking actor was the Mandarin, was playing the Mandarin. And Guy Pearce was the real Mandarin, who looked nothing like him, nor was he anything like him in general. And don't go in the comments saying, oh, they did the same thing in Batman Begins with Ra's al Ghul, but because they didn't, okay? Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins, when everyone heard that a Chinese actor was playing Ra's al Ghul, we were pissed. But it turns out Liam Neeson was the real Ra's al Ghul. Okay? And that was a fantastic plot twist. Not the Iron Man 3 one. The Iron Man 3 plot twist sucked and it ruined the entire film for me. So, that's that. Question 2. Have you read Infinity War? No, I haven't, dude. But I have read the Infinity Gauntlet. And I know the 3rd and 4th Avengers films will be based off of Infinity War. And I'm so psyched for that. I mean, we thought Age of Ultron was going to be an awesome movie. Wait till Infinity War. Holy shit. So, I have the Infinity Gauntlet, but I'd very much like to read Infinity War one day. 3rd and final question of this Q&A. Would you like to see a Batman TV show like Arrow? Yes, that would be cool. But, we don't really need that. I mean, we already got Arrow on its own, which is a fantastic show. But if we did another Batman TV show, it'd pretty much be slapping Gotham in the face. The TV show Gotham. I know I'm not a big fan of that show, but it doesn't deserve to be disrespected like that. So, yes, I would like, it would be cool, but I really don't mind not seeing it, you know? So, that's that. So, I've answered every single question now, guys. Now I'm gonna refresh this page to see if anyone had posted more questions. Okay, so that's that, guys. I've answered every single question. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. To be honest, it didn't turn out as good as I had imagined it. But now that I've finally finished the video, holy crap, what a lot of hard work that I've done. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my answers to your questions. So that's that, guys. I'm It Is Raining Blood, and I will see you later.